Good evening from my part of the world. It's another 8 p.m., 14 days to 14th September. Let's have another conversation. A subject I know you would really be interested in. Your contributions are welcome. Who to marry, who you married, who you would want to marry. That's the most important decision that would affect the state of your mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual health. It either takes you closer to your purpose or drives you far away. Choosing rightly is not just about love, it is about aligning with someone who nurtures growth, peace, and purpose. Not a typical primitive African patriarchal interpretation of peace, where you are supposed to hang in there even when you are being destroyed. To them, peace means just endure everything and don't even dare complain. Cry yourself to sleep and then get outside there and still let the world feel like all is well with you. I am not talking about that kind of peace. You know, I don't subscribe to that kind of gibberishness. Yeah. I'm talking about peace that your soul bear witness that you are living in peace. Peace, someone who nurtures growth. You marry in 10 years, you are still the same. Inwardly, you are not marinating into a good human. That's not the marriage I'm talking about. Someone who nurtures growth. They will treat you so much well that whether you like it or not, you grow up yourself. That to me is marriage. Not marriage that you would have to lose yourself so you would give another person peace. Who said our peace is with another person when you are not bringing peace to that person? It makes you an abusive partner, demanding, requesting for what you are not willing and ready to give in return. So I'm not talking about the patriarchal definition of what peace is supposed to be, that he's supposed to treat you anyhow. She's supposed to do anything to you and you dare not even complain. No, we've moved from that address long time ago. If you are staying there, probably you are the only person there. A greater percentage of people have moved from there. Peace that you feel it because you give and you receive back in return. Yeah. Life is shaped by the choices we make. And among these choices, few carry as much weight and consequences as the decision of who to marry. That is, if you're single. If you're already in there, this might be for you too. There are times you have to go back to the foundation and love the same person multiple times. Unfortunately, it takes two people to make a relationship work. So it's easier when both of you decide to make it work. If it's you alone, then I must be frank with you, you're going to struggle for as long as you want to endure that. So, yes, our life is shaped by the choices we make. And among these choices, few carry as much weight and consequences as the decision of who to marry or who you have married. A career can change. Even if you don't have any certificates to your name, you can decide to leave your job and look for another one, right? That's it. Career can change. Wealth can fluctuate. Friends can come and go. But the person you choose to walk life journey with becomes an anchor that influences every dimension of your existence. The person you choose to walk life's journey with becomes an anchor that influences every dimension of your existence. You can you can you can pretend to the world that all is well with you, but you cannot lie to your nervous system. You cannot lie to your own soul. So if you are not in a healthy marriage, relationship, love relationship, and you still want the world to know all is well with you, as for us will clap for you, but you cannot deceive your nervous system. You cannot deceive your nervous system. If your partner is not giving you peace, if your environment is not peace, because you in return is not giving him or her peace, and you still want to put the public facade that all is well with you, as for us, we'll clap for you. But you can never deceive your nervous system. You can let everybody think all is well with you, but you cannot deceive your nervous system. And a time will come, it would break you down. It would break you down. So if you are single and you happen to be watching this video, know that the person you marry is not a joke. It is not a joke. Choose wrongly, and that is the end. You capped yourself in this life. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are, how gifted you are, whatever you are, you will just be capped. I rehobat now so much that you can never live your truest and authentic self. Marriage is a beautiful thing when it happens between two beautiful souls who are willing and ready to marinate into growth, into peace, and into harmony. So, a person who nurtures growth, peace, and purpose. These are conversations we are supposed to have when we are courting. Unfortunately, it is courting time that people research deeper into colors. Until recently, I didn't even know the turquoise kinds of colors. People can research into colors for their wedding, forgetting that the wedding is just a day, it is just an event. The marriage is what will last, what will give your soul joy, or what will drain you. My colors are turquoise blue, and this green, and this blue. We can research, spend so much life savings to just do an event of marriage. But the marriage itself begins after the event, the ceremony of the marriage has ended. We spend so much time into planning for the getting married. What about the staying married? Get a copy of this book, it will bless your soul. It's not just about the getting married, but the staying married. When some of you, when you are planning, you take 2 years to plan just a marriage ceremony over one weekend. And afterwards, you just live anyhow. Treat your partner anyhow and still expect their energy not to change around you because they are good, godly people, because they are religious people. So you think they will never leave you. Their hearts can leave you whilst their bodies are still with you. And because their hearts leave you, their bodies can't accept you at a point, and you end up being frustrated. So life is shaped by the choices we make. And among these choices, few carry much weight and consequences as the decision of who to marry. And at every point that you are making that decision, it is based on what you know that you make a choice out of. And that is why I encourage singles to read enough, to have conversations that matter, not the take me out, let's go have fun, let's go into this. No, have the conversations that matter. People marry without even knowing who they are and what they deserve and who they want to become. How on earth will you choose a person that would be able to be your life partner? Partnering you for what? Who said marriage is just about having children? And it ends there. No growth, no growth, no agenda. You are just in there. Your soul will bleed at a point. And just like people can ride in boats, and yet because there's no compass, others will see them and think they are busy, and yet they cannot go anywhere meaningful. The world will always celebrate you, but you know deep down that you are not living a meaningful life. The joy and the satisfaction, the fulfillment that comes with being with somebody, you don't get. And yet you take pride in the fact that you are married. We will still celebrate you. We will still adore you for being in there. But your soul, you can never deceive your soul. You can never lie to your nervous system. A career can change regardless of your educational background. You can wake up and say, next year, I'm changing my job. And nobody can say anything to you. Even wealth fluctuates. Friends can come and go. But the person you choose to walk life journey with becomes an anchor that influences every dimension of your existence. So if you are single, don't just consider today that you are broken. You don't even know where you are going. Consider the future. And you would have to discover that future first before obehu so boafo. Nipa no se no fata so do that future. The person you choose to walk life's journey with becomes an anchor that influences every dimension of your existence: mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual. Yes. Marriage is not just about companionship. We've been lied to. Marriage is not just about companionship. It's not even about love. It is about building a life that either uplifts or drains you. Go ask those who married for love, and they will tell you the experiences. Go ask those who married because of material wealth, and they will tell you. There's a deeper dimension of marriage that we have no idea. All we think about is the number of children we're going to have, somebody to take care of us, to cook for us, clean for us, that when we want to have sex, there is somebody for us. And the time comes, your soul tells you your life is bigger. When destiny is calling, all these things become mundane. The mental dimension. Your spouse has the power to either bring you peace or create turbulence in your mind. Your spouse has the power to either bring you peace or create turbulence in your mind. A supportive partner helps you think clearly, encourages you to dream boldly, and reassures you when life gets tough, because life will certainly get tough sometimes. When you have a supportive partner, he or she helps you think clearly. The person that can just look at your face and say and tell you there is something wrong, and I insist we talk about it. All your defense mechanisms, everything, every wall is just erased to ground zero. You would have to open up and speak. Not the one that will find you crying and ask you, are you okay, when you say yes, and they still leave you and go. And you see them again until 24 hours. What kind of relationship is that? A person will nurture growth. A person who can just look into your eyes and know that all is not well and we need to talk now. A supportive partner helps you think clearly, encourages you to dream boldly, and reassures you when life gets tough. On the other hand, marrying someone who thrives on conflict, enipa bi pɛ ma nso o, enipa bi pɛ ntɔkwa o, you have no idea. You have no idea. You see them in their religious settings and think they are angels. They are demons in disguise. They live their religious setups and they are different creatures. And now can what some be grown jindi. They have a public facade and they come home and they treat you so bad. And you wonder, is this the same person I once said, yes, I do too? Marrying someone who thrives on conflict. People that don't know whether their head is a diary. Just one conversation with them within 1 hour, they'll be able to list for the 10 years that they got married, all the things their partners have done against them wrongly. They remember. They will give you the date and time that these things happen. Marrying someone who thrives on conflict, negativity, or disrespect can keep your mind in a constant state of worry and anxiety. Now, what disrespect, you think it's only the men that deserve to be respected. A lot of women's souls are bleeding because their husbands disrespect them to the core, disrespects them publicly and privately. Even their family as women, they know that as for these men, they don't respect their wives. The wife's family also understands that the husband, as for Nikundu Muadio, Muno. What is the meaning of that? Marry someone who thrives on conflict, negativity, or disrespect can keep your mind in a constant state of worry and anxiety. Intuitive disrespect, I don't think, is something that just women give to men because men are supposed to be respected. Women are also human beings when it comes to respect. And anything you freely give to someone, it becomes natural and normal for the person to equally give it back to you in return. So don't come to the table requesting for respect when you're a disrespectful spouse. A home that is not mentally safe eventually erodes confidence and clarity, making even external successes feel hollow. That's why you see people who Juma career but rising through the ladder in their corporate careers, and yet there is nothing like joy in their souls. Some have turned themselves into drunkards. Ɔnnom nsa nenam abɔnten fefe ne ho, but ɔnom nsa every time just to keep his sanity intact because of the nonsense going on in his home. Some have altered their personality. Obi a na nka ɔmpɛ ne ho asɛm, wayɛ ntɔkwapɛfo ma. Obi aforce ma sisi a wohyia na wobɛka sɛ onim kasa. Ɔnkasa po ɛna ɔnam hɔ, ɛna biribi abɔ ne bo na ɛdidi ne mu. Their souls are bleeding, and yet they are dying in silence, and yet they won't even talk about it. A home that is not mentally safe eventually erodes confidence and clarity, making even external successes feel hollow. Odu Ejime ma yɛma no standing ovation. Ɔbaa no bi asɔre wo n'akoma so de akoma ɛma no atena ase, but obidu ɔno ani fie a, sɛbio, sɛbio, sɛbio. Deɛ ɛtoa so no deɛ ntumi nka. Let's look at the emotional dimension. Marriage is where the heart either blooms or withers. When you find a person who is for you, who is willing and ready to learn and to grow with you, not because he or she knows it all, but has a teachable spirit, even your soul will bear witness that you are loved rightly. Marriage is where the heart either blooms or withers. A loving and emotionally intelligent spouse becomes a safe haven. A loving and emotionally intelligent spouse partner becomes a safe haven. A safe haven. Someone with whom you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. Wobetime bi wakoma mu aka bibia kyerɛ no. Your words will not be used against you until thy kingdom comes. Obi ɔno a adɛfɛdɛfɛ wama deɛ ha waka akyerɛ no awie no, da bi ɔde bɛbu wo fo. Your words will be used against you until thy kingdom come. Emotional stability within marriage fuels resilience and joy. Wontumi pɔ ne nni nkɔmmɔ nka deɛ your fears, your aspirations you can share. Because who share ye wie no was started to do whatever. Now also your bema and you're not no soon to me way, we soon to me way, we saw your bar. It didn't cross the seven. Just because the person is not emotionally intelligent. Emotional stability within marriage fuels resilience and joy. However, marrying the wrong person can lead to loneliness. Even while living under the same roof. Do your case study. Go do your survey. The most loneliest people in this world are married couples. Are some married couples. So lonely. Home no nyina try the same style. Oba ne bema nyina share the same top. And yet from wherever you saw them into their house, there is disconnect. Adesa obi afa ne baby. For a whole straight 1 month, no communion, no fellowship, no intimacy. And yet, the world thinks they are in relationship. Marrying the wrong person can lead to loneliness, even while living under the same roof. And when we say wrong person, it doesn't mean the person is a bad person. But you see, if we are so chance so chance biara so there is no way I'm doing the kata way so quite now. I hope you can see this. You can see this? There is no way I'm the way paper booklets way bekata glass way so a coin and nanchen. Because this is not the cover. It is not the cover. Chance biara so but many a time at the point you are choosing the options you had, you thought that was the best of it. You didn't know. You had little information, no guidance. So you just went ahead and chose, probably based on your feelings, without even considering who you would become in the future and where you want to go with your life. Bidinsu egu glass mu. You see it? Bidinsu gumu na me de we kata so me ye ne den be hwi because enye so kata so ni. Enye so kata so ni. Me ye den be hwi. I have water here. This is it. Look. This is also a cover. So no. This is the right cover. As simple as that. Do you get it? So when we say a wrong person, it doesn't necessarily mean the person is just bad. No. There are lots of people out there, but everybody can't be for you when it comes to choosing a partner. Marrying the wrong person can lead to loneliness, even while living under the same roof. Emotional neglect or even abuse. In parts of the world, you can abuse at the here and it's a nipana bono. That's when abuse comes to mind. Now the obisa na sem ko muwa. Bibi here okra won feel. Bibi so what drink crown to me share. We don't know. Sending in abuse. We are sure pass only purpose on no bobra. Or what don't you boo mao? No person no bobra. Obetimi nwa tena fie bibi here won fa no. Bibi chi wagye na won ne ka umu akra so nipa. Marrying the wrong person can lead to loneliness even while living under the same roof. There are beautiful marriages out there, and there are struggling ones too. The emotional cost of a mismatched union can weigh heavier than any material lack. The emotional cost of a mismatched union can weigh heavier than any material lack. The financial dimension. It is often said that two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. Two are better than one when they are functional two, not half and half. Two are better than one when the two are bonded together in commitment. Not when one is pouring in pints and the other is pouring in gallons. Not like there would be a change along the line. That the time will come, this one will also pour in gallons for the other person to continue in pints. No. As for them, they take entrenched positions. As for me, this is who I am and this is what I can do. No growth, no consideration, no empathy. And he or she can continually receive in gallons without finding out how he or she can equally give back in gallons too. Your soul will bleed. A healthy marriage creates a partnership where financial goals are aligned, resources are managed wisely, and sacrifices are made for shared growth. On the other hand, marrying someone irresponsible, materialistic, or indifferent to financial discipline can sabotage your financial future. Nnipa bi hye sika te sɛ bosome so na ɔmaa no 1,000, 2,000 o sɛ wo ne wo mma bɛyɛ dɛn o wɔwie. To the extent obi betumi abie n'ano aka akyerɛ ne yere menni bi ne menkɔwie a. When you were giving birth, there was no agenda, there was no planning, and it's still normal to you. And everybody sees him as good out there. So whatever you say, nobody will believe. In today that women also go to school, get higher education, some even earn more than their husbands. Everything this woman will expect the husband to provide financially because you are the head. Not even supporting your own children because it's the husband's responsibility. Such an irresponsible kind of a wife and a mother. The man's soul will bleed. Marrying someone irresponsible, materialistic, or indifferent to financial discipline can sabotage your financial future. Debt, reckless spending, and lack of vision often creates cracks that destabilize even the strongest emotional bond. No financial goals, no agenda, nothing. Na yɛkɔ ne yɛba. When there are no financial goals and you assume God will provide, you struggle together with your children who never asked to be here. In parts of the world, obi tumi wo na ɔwo obi sɛ ɔsɛ nyame na ɛhwɛ nkɔlaa, and yet the school fees bar. I don't know how many people go back to heaven to go and collect that money from God. Yes, a woman said, along the line, people will help you, but get your own plan because if nobody comes to your aid, you will struggle. You would struggle. And if you marry to a partner, a spouse, I am funny what you and the children will go through, whether they would go to school, you clothe them, feed them, and form one. When you bet sunny will say, or in the name of choosing a wrong partner. ɔde to table so ma ɔno ɔkɔ sɛ ɛbɛso nsuo mfa ne ho agye busuma so bio. Ɔno anya yi bi ama wo no, deɛ aka nyinaa yɛ ɔno ane dea. Deɛ wobɛyɛ wo ho biara mfa ne ho bio. W'ani bɛtane wɔ wiase. Woanyɛ careful as a woman, wobɛbɔ aberewa ma woka kyerɛ obi sɛ wonni 40 pa ɔngye ndi. Woka kyerɛ obi sɛ wonni 60 pa a ɔngye ndi. All because of choosing a wrong partner. The spiritual dimension. Beyond mental and financial well-being lies the deepest layer, the spiritual. The spiritual. The spiritual. Who you marry influences your values, convictions, and your sense of purpose. Who you marry influences your values, convictions, and your sense of purpose. A partner who aligns with your faith and shares your desire for spiritual growth becomes a companion on a higher journey. In our parts of the world, that we confuse religious meetings with relationship with God. And because the bioko sorry na the bioko bompai because of mosque and okwa sorry, you think they are religious, they are connected to God, and you marry them. What we do in our religious setups have nothing to do with our relationship with God. Many of these people, you see them there, are different creatures when they close and they come back home. A partner who aligns with your faith and shares your desire for spiritual growth becomes a companion on a higher journey, inspiring you to live meaningfully. However, when there is a deep spiritual disconnect, it often creates conflict in priorities, values, and long-term vision. Without alignment at this level, the relationship struggles to find harmony. Struggles to find harmony. Without alignment at this level, the relationship struggles to find harmony. So the spiritual dimension is critical too. The weight of this decision that a lot of people don't take notice of is that marriage is not a decision to be made based on fleeting emotions, external pressure, or superficial attraction. It is a lifelong commitment that requires discernment, self-awareness, and foresight. When I use the term lifelong commitment, I'm not saying even when you are dying there, stay there and die. No, there's no martyrship in dying out of dysfunctional relationship. It is a lifelong commitment that requires discernment, self-awareness, and foresight. The choice of who to marry will either multiply your strength or magnify your weakness. There are people, when you marry them, your strengths are multiplied and your weaknesses suppressed, subdued. Your strengths continually are multiplied, becoming a better human. In the same way, if the person is a wrong partner, you magnify your weaknesses too. So the choice of who to marry will either multiply your strengths or magnify your weaknesses. It can create a partnership that propels you forward or a prison that holds you back. Yeah, keep it, my dears. Keep it. A lot of people now open up and share their journey with you, but the younger generation are not supposed to make these mistakes. You are looking at feelings which are fleeting. When it comes to your lifelong commitment, it's not about fleeting emotions which can die off at any panebe obey wayayade sama. All the feelings you had for the person will just drop. And that's why choices are not supposed to be made based on these fleeting choices. In the end, who you marry is the most important earthly decision you would ever make. Who you marry is the most important earthly decision you would ever make. For it shapes your mind, studies your emotions, builds or breaks your finances, and either deepens or distorts your spiritual walk. Nti na nka wosom Awurade paa, but asetena nipa ne wo tenaeɛ a ɔno na ɔseɛ sɛ ɔyɛ Kristoni no ama afei wo gyidi sɛ ɔ Kristoni no ankasa koraa akɔ fam. I understand. I understand. That is the effect of choosing a wrong partner. Take the time to choose wisely. For this decision is not just about who you love, but also about who you would become. It is not just about your today, but who you are ordained to be. Why is marrying the wrong person such a huge thing? That in this 14 days to 14th September, I want to share this with you. Why is marrying the wrong person such a huge thing? Marriage is one of the most defining decisions in life. It is not just about sharing a home, a bed, or a surname. Some people are divorced, they are still using their husband's name. They grew up all their adult lives, that's the name they had, so they are still using it. And nobody can take that away from them. And that is why you're supposed to have these conversations. For a woman to drop her father's name and take on a man's name, it's not just a joke that you can treat that woman anyhow. A woman who has lost her identity, your surname is your identity. For a woman putting her father's name on hold just to use a man's surname means you should make, you should shape that destiny of that woman properly, not to toy with her life. It is not just about sharing a home, a bed, or a surname. It is about sharing destinies. Whoever you marry influences your destiny. The person you marry becomes a central part of your daily existence, influencing your thoughts, decisions, and future. Because of this, marrying the wrong person is not a small misstep. Marrying the wrong person is not a small misstep. It is a life-altering event. It is a life-altering event that can affect every dimension of who you are and who you become. So when you're careful, won't you mean that is it. You are kept in this life. Number one, why is marrying the wrong person such a huge thing? It affects your mental and emotional health. It affects your mental and emotional health. It affects your mental and emotional health. The wrong marriage often becomes a source of distant stress and inner turmoil. Instead of finding peace, a person may live in anxiety, loneliness, or emotional exhaustion. Your spouse's words and actions directly affect how you feel even about yourself. So when training whom you can see things, hear things, and still you won't allow them to affect and influence your well-being. Wrong marriage, wrong partner, dysfunctional home will affect your mental health and emotional well-being. Your spouse's words and actions, the way they treat you, directly affect how you feel about yourself. A wrong partner may belittle your dreams, dismiss your feelings, or even create a toxic environment where your mental health gets worse by the day. In such situations, your home, the home that is meant to be a refuge, turns into a battlefield. Ɛna wo ne nkurɔfoɔ yɛ adwuma no ɔpon korɔ mpɛ sɛ ɔbɛkɔ fie. Ɔte office wɔnyɛ sɛ ɔwɔ biribiara yɛ. Wofili sɛ ɔyɛ hard working ɔyɛ overtime. Efie no a ɔbɛdrive akɔ no koraa yɛ problem ano. Nti ɔpon fi adwuma mu a ɛsɛ ɔkɔpɛ baabi. That's why people are in their religious setting, Monday through to Friday, and you insult them. They don't have anywhere else to go. Ɔpɛ sɛ ɔbɛbɛ fie na ne yere anaa ne kunu koraa wada. And many a time the women find it difficult to even do this. But the men are comfortable. Nti sɛ ɔyɛ religious person a de bi ɔbɛkɔ asɔre. Because efie na ɔbɛba no, so ɔne ɔno ankasa ne yere bɛtena hɔ even for 30 minutes, 1 hour di nkɔmmɔ ɔbɛyɛ ntɔkwa. Nti ɔno ɔbɛba ne wabrɛ. Ɔbɛba na ne yere no koraa da na obɛdidi na ɔda na ayɛ okay. So ɔba so a onyaa nka da bia bibi activity bi de ne bɛfi fie. Because da bia ɔte fie awerɛho nko ara. So the home that is meant to be a refuge turns into a battlefield. Number 2, it shapes your financial stability, just like I said. Money may not be the foundation of love, but it is the foundation of stability. And who you marry, when you only financial goals, nothing. And no, Ejuma we know ye or kono obasa in the next 10 years, 20 years, no financial goals. Ono ankasa kutiano kwa nsonidi and yet wawari or ma. If you marry such a person, how wouldn't you struggle? Tell me. Asa, marrying someone who is financially reckless, lazy, or unambitious can pull you into endless financial strain. Obi na ka na asɛm sɛ wonya nyinsɛn sɛ ɔbaa na ɔba no hyɛ yam na ɔka kyerɛw sɛ daakye mɛsua adwuma o, daakye mɛkɔ school o, daakye mɛkɔ university o, daakye, yeah. And yet if you don't plan financially, na wɔn ara na mowo a 10 years, 20 years into that child's life, you will struggle. Marry someone who is financially reckless or unambitious or settled in life. You know those people who are so comfortable, they are settled in life. Sabosom 1,500, 2,000, man, you're okay. Ono ankasa kra nso ne di. Nso wo ye ne de opuso ne bia onka ne ho da. No ambition. They can pull you into endless financial strain. Or scan or remember only ma nso da bi okoba opeduane adi out of that money. Ebi na sa wo de hwa nkola no, wo de hwie bibia wo fie ho. Enye sa ne timi adi oni bi. Ɔntena sɛ so mplane sɛ mɛyɛ den da. Nti wɔbaa no, sɛ woamma wo ho so a, wo ne wo mma mo ho bɛkyerɛ mu. If you marry this person, it doesn't matter how you pray and fast. It doesn't matter how righteous you are. Financially, you struggle as a wife. Ofie adwuma a ɔmmɛ fie po mɛtena sɛ no wadwen. Either sɛ ɔkɔ asɔre, or ɔkɔ mosque, or ɔkɔ this program, or ɔkɔ this event. Or just an abrabɔ no yɛ so robotic sɛ wodi agorɔ 10 years, still no structure, no plan. Financially, you struggle. Ɔbaa ne kun aketewa sua, nanso sika bi obɛnya bi ɔde bɛtɔ afɛfɛde. Ɔpon adwuma na ɔbaa, ɔnyɛ bibia nka ho obɛnya sika. Obɛtumi atena hɔ abɛhwɛ telenovelas yi abɛn 4 hours straight, not TV ho. Ɔmmɛka obi di 4 hours ne yɛ another job, ɔgye extra income. 4 hours no bi nam ɛkɔ supply delivery nkɔfo a order goods ɔde kɔ ɔbɛtena TV anim ahwɛ 4 hours ɔmfa n'adwene nyɛ adwuma sɛ ɔbɛstarte biribi kakra bi a ɔbɛnya sika ɔne ne mma ho bɛkye ɔmo ɛma ne ho ayɛ tantantan ɛma ɔno atwa ne ho aka sɛ ne kunu na ntumi ahwɛ no a full agentic adult wo ho yɛ basaa ɛyɛ wo kunu fault. Marrying such a person, you will struggle. You will struggle. You will struggle. Marrying someone who is financially reckless, lazy, no financial goals, or unambitious can pull you into endless financial strain. And in case you've not been told, the future is becoming expensive by the day. Imagine what one ma in our university within the same space. 400, 300, 100. It be our macro 4. That's next year. So 4 years in a row, you have children in the university and you don't have any source of income aside your job. And that job, even your TNT within the month. And so, aren't you wasting life and wasting somebody else's life? A person was decided to do life with you. Debts, irresponsible spending, and lack of planning can crush even the most hard-working partner. It can crush even the most hard-working partner. On the other hand, the right partner can multiply your financial stability through shared vision, sacrifice, and cooperation. You have financial goals you're working towards. Nti sika bi aba mu nsɛm a monwasti, monim nea mode yɛ. Kwasiɛbɔ bi ani obi afa. Kwasiɛbɔ bi ani obi afa. Deɛ mopɛ sɛ moyɛ bom. Nti biribi so ba so ɛba ma mo mmienu nyinaa. The right partner can multiply your financial stability through shared vision, sacrifice, and cooperation. This is why the wrong marriage is not just emotionally draining, it is also financially devastating. It is also financially devastating. Many a times, the inner one partner that will scar so much, and many a time is the man. Then even when he's not treating you right, he compensates that with money. Still, your soul will bleed and will get there. But the escape fina fama, no ni plans be so benya extra, ube struggle. And now the onunya more, and yet especially so no your ba, non jin tum say, or the sika boefia. It is also part of her responsibility as a man you struggle. Even on one kasani mbapo on fanisika mwao, you will struggle. So it will not just be emotionally draining, it would be financially devastating too. Number 3, why is marrying the wrong partner a big deal? Number 3, it can stagnate your growth and purpose. Some people had great plans for their lives until they got married. Some people had vision, dreams for their lives until they got married. A wrong partner does not only affect who you are today, but who you can become tomorrow. So you will be on kasa who need plans be for your life. You can marry anybody and flow with the person. The person can even enjoy you. So you'll be on also and his or her desire is not to give you the room to also become who you are made to be. Yeah. You can marry anybody and flow with. But who you'll be, just say one kasa, because I believe there is more to life than just being a wife, a partner, or a parent. Everybody's here for a reason. If you haven't identified yours yet, that's okay. But for those who have, a wrong partner does not only affect who you are today, but who you can become tomorrow. And many women just all they had was marriage. Nothing about life, about destiny, about purpose. All they could offer life, humanity, was being good wives and good mothers. That's it. What about the woman God created you to be? What about the woman God created you to be? So if you have such a woman, she can control to your whims and caprices. Yanko need so because on one person need plan B for a life. But you see, the danger of living that robotic is that when you hit 60, when you hit 70, and your soul comes back telling you there was more to your life than what you've covered, and you look back, then you have so much regrets. You have so much regrets. When the children grow and they flee the nest and you are left alone again as a wife and a mother, then you know that there was more to your life than raising wholesome children and being a perfect wife. A lot of men are able to do that beautifully. It doesn't matter the turnout of their marriages, they can still pursue their career and get to the top. They can still build anything they want to build, from their businesses to their careers to everything that gives them fulfillment. But the woman, the wrong marriage often limits growth by discouraging new ideas, mocking ambitions, or creating an environment where you are forced to shrink rather than expand. Instead of being supported to fulfill your purpose, you may feel trapped, unable to flourish into the person you were created to be. But you see, life is too short to be tied to someone who does not see or support your higher self. Life is too short to be tied to someone who does not see or support your higher self. Number 4, why is marrying the wrong partner or the wrong person a big deal? Number 4, it impacts your spiritual journey. In case you haven't considered that yet. Ebimu ne Nyankopɔn anya problem today because they thought they were good people. They married good people, and yet the marriage couldn't give them the results they wanted. Some even claim God spoke. There were prophecies concerning their marriage, all those gibberishness. And yet the marriage itself has turned to be their greatest nightmare in this life. Marriage can impact your spiritual journey. For many, faith and spirituality are the deepest parts of life. A partner who disrespects or disregards your beliefs can shake your foundation. Marrying the wrong person often leads to spiritual conflict, making it difficult to align values, raise wholesome children with shared convictions. Marrying the wrong person often leads to spiritual conflict, making it difficult to align values, raise wholesome children with shared convictions, or work together in purpose. Akwadaa no koraa yɛntumi ntie no because wei pɛ sɛ yɛntete ne sei, wei nso pɛ sɛ yɛntete ne sei. And the two of them can come together and derive values, how to raise these children so they will not betray each other. No shared convictions. Working together in purpose becomes a problem. Without unity in this area, marriage can feel like two people walking in opposite direction. We chiko, now we are chiaba. You can't go anywhere. The world will see you as busy, but you won't go anywhere meaningful. You can't give your soul that meaningful connection it desires. Number 5, Why does marrying the wrong person, why is marrying the wrong person such a big deal? Number 5, it influences generations. If you think it's just about you, why here? It influences generations. The wrong marriage doesn't just affect two people, it ripples into the next generation. Children raised in toxic homes, dysfunctional relationships often carry the scars of what they witness. That is how paradigms are formed. I said in my book, Getting Married and Staying Married. The way you treat your partner is because of what you saw happening in your home. You form paradigms out of that. Until you challenge and interrogate that paradigms, you can be well educated, you can be spiritually motivated, and you still go home and still do that person. Treat your spouse the same way. Ɛno na ɛwɔ w'adwene mu. Yɛka sɛ obi yɛ kunu a, ɛnna wonim. Yɛka sɛ obi yɛ yere, ɛnna wonim. Give him good food and good words. That's it. Who tells you your husband? That is his needs. Some men can cook better than their partners. Into their paradigms now, for me, you are going to treat your partner like your parents treated themselves. It won't work. The wrong marriage doesn't just affect the two, it ripples into the next generation. Your children are watching. Children raised in dysfunctional homes, in toxic relationships, often carry the scars of what they witnessed. They form paradigms based on what they experienced. The pain of conflict, abuse, or brokenness in marriage can shape their worldview. It can shape their self-worth and even the ability to form healthy relationships in their future. So you have no idea what happens to your generation by choosing just the wrong partner for marriage. The impact of marrying the wrong person often extends far beyond the couple. It can affect families, communities, and even generations. Marrying the wrong person is such a huge thing because marriage is not just about, it's not just a personal choice. It is a life-binding covenant that affects your mental health, finances, growth, spirituality, and even the future of your children. It is not a decision to be taken lightly or made out of desperation, pressure, or fleeting emotions. The right marriage brings peace, strength, and purpose, while the wrong one can drain your life of the joy and meaning. The right marriage brings peace, strength, and purpose, while the wrong one can drain your life. It can drain your life of its joy and meaning. Wonam hɔ kɛkɛ te aseɛ wo. Anigye bia ni w'abrabɔ mu sɛ onipa, just because you chose a wrong partner. In the end, choosing who to marry is not just about finding someone to love. It's about choosing a partner who will work with you in alignment, in vision, and in purpose. That is why getting it wrong is so costly. Getting it wrong is so costly. In conclusion, let's compare and contrast the effects on men and women in dysfunctional marriages so you understand what I mean. And if you are single, you choose with everything inside of you. The effect of choosing the wrong partner. Marriage is not simply a union of two individuals, just like I said earlier on. It's a merger of dreams, values, and destiny. In our part of the world, everybody's teaching. When you marry, the two become one, as if it's automatic thing. It's not. It is not at all. You bring everything you are on board, your abilities, your capacities, your everything, and you merge it into something bigger than the two of you could have acquired individually. So marriage doesn't end you as we have been taught. Marriage doesn't end who you are. It just merges your dreams, your values, and destinies. The person one marries inevitably influences mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual being. Awareɛ bɛsesa wo su, wo bɔberɛ. However, the impact of marrying the wrong person often plays out differently for men and women, shaped by societal expectations, emotional wiring, and practical responsibilities. So let's look at the same things I've spoken about and let's compare and contrast in conclusion. Number one, emotional and mental health. When women marry the wrong partner, they often bear the weight of emotional neglect more deeply. Women, by societal and biological conditioning, tend to be more expressive and relational. A partner who is dismissive, abusive, or uncommunicative may leave a woman feeling unseen, unloved, and emotionally isolated. Ɔbaa bi apɛ bɛrima a ɔne ne bɛkasa. Biribi kye no adwo obɛtumi ne no akɔdiskase. Na sɛ wokɔtwiri so bi a, nkɔmmɔ korɔ ɔne wo mmɔ bi. Biribi kye w'adwene nso a wontumi nkɔbisa no. Biribi na ehia wo koraa wontumi nkɔka. Ɔno ankasa so po ntumi ntena ase nhu sɛ onipa yi a me n'ani sane yi, deɛ ehia no nie, nti mefi me pɛ mu ayɛ ama no. Woato w'abrabɔ agu. Woabɔ kamprenu. Woabɔ kamprenu. A partner who is dismissive, abusive, or uncommunicative may leave a woman feeling unseen, unloved, and emotionally isolated. This can spiral into depression, anxiety, and loss of self-worth. Men, on the other hand, may struggle more silently. A society that teaches men, man up, and to them, that man up means who crack and want to know na yenkosi. Why this gibbrishness? Men are also humans. They are also human. They have feelings. There's blood running through them. Men, on the other hand, may struggle more silently. Society often expects men to be stoic and not show vulnerability. A wrong marriage can lead to bottle up frustration, suppression, or suppressed emotions, and stress that manifest in unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse, withdrawal, overworking, just like I said earlier. Ɔno ankasa fa ne ho adwen na ɛbɛyɛ a ɔbɛsurvive. And sometimes they get so addicted into this that nothing that changes in the marriage can bring them back to their old loving self again. While women may cry out, men often burn out, which is equally dangerous. Women cry out, and sometimes they are relieved. When you are burnt out, it is very devastating. Let's look at the financial impact. In many cultures, women may depend partially or fully on their husbands for financial security. Aware bebree wɔ hɔ a mmarima na ɛwɔ sika sen wɔn yerenom. Marrying a financially irresponsible man can trap women in cycles of poverty, debt, or dependence, limiting their independence and stability. Even professional women, career women, independent women, whatever, they can still find their progress stalled by a partner who mismanages resources or resent their success. Bema wokɔ sora na ne ya, onyankada bia wo hyɛ n'ase na bibi nya wo a wabebisa no. So draining. Onyankada bia bibi nya wo bebisa no. Ubisa no no akyerɛ deɛ ɔno betumi ayɛ deɛ ɔno ntumi nyɛ. And yet bibi a wopɛ sɛ woyɛ a wonya wankasa wo sika pia be discourage you, limiting their independence and stability. Men often carry the social burden of being providers. They are supposed to provide, they are supposed to protect, and there's another P too. They are supposed to provide, they are supposed to protect, and they are supposed to what? Are they God? And preserve. Men often carry the social burden, the societal burden of being providers. They are supposed to provide, they are supposed to preserve, they are supposed to protect. Are they not human too? A wrong partner who is wasteful in the part of a woman, entitled, or unwilling to contribute can drain a man's resources and lead to burnout. If you need the number of men who are burnt out, whose souls are bleeding, I'm not talking about those who don't know what they're about, but the responsible ones who want to make life comfortable for their wives and children, the ways a greater percentage of them are burnt out, you have no idea. For men, financial strain often feels like failure, as it strikes directly at their sense of responsibility and societal identity. You see, every responsible man, forget about the rest, the sperm donors, those who just want women for the fun of it. They are not willing to commit anything to their women's lives. I'm not talking about them. A man who is a responsible person, who believes in commitment, who is willing and ready to provide for his family. So when to me, if he's not in the capacity to provide, or no one can even without society or the spouse and children judging him, or no one kasa ebu ne ho for dada, because yɛtete yɛ mmarima no sɛ sɛ ɔmotumi hwɛ ɔmo mmaa. Ɛnyɛ bɛrima a ɔno onim sɛ deɛ yɛhwɛ ɔbaa no, ɛnyɛ n'asɛm na meka. The men that even when you beg, they will still do it for their women. I'm not talking about them. Mmarima efi ɔmo ankasa ɔmo pɛ mu, onim sɛ sei na ɛsɛ meyɛ ma ɔbaa me ne ne wɔ hɔ. Sei na ɛsɛ metumi yɛ ma me mma. Ɔmo na meka. It is such a strain on them. You have no idea. Many of them are burnt out. Number 3, personal growth and fulfillment. For women, marrying the wrong man often results in suppressing of dreams. A controlling or unsupportive husband may discourage her from pursuing education, career, or passions, reducing her identity to roles of a wife or a mother. I don't know whether I've shared the story with you about a woman who wanted to pursue higher education. And yes, so could school fees na fini kunho. Or Felicia Fessa Bema Mawaro. Me person me go school. So even from the one na me kwa admission, many won't discuss it. Ni kuni to me share and nim catch no. Say, me my masters also kwa ibi na eden. Obi ba wa no atete no ama the first degree ansa wokɔ ware no na ɔno anya ne sika no pɛ sɛ ɔkɔyɛ higher education. Ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔbɛka kyerɛ wo sɛ wo na hwɛ no. Wotumi hwɛ n'anim ka kyerɛ no sɛ mema yɛ master sɛ bɛrima wo so kɔyɛ bia na ayɛ den. Afei deɛ wo ne me compete anaa. Na sɛ bɛrima adwene da ne tim ni a woware no a wobɛyɛ da kɔ w'anim sɛ onipa sɛ ɔba. And yes, some of these men go do higher education without even discussing it with their wives. Ubetia na graduation and no gusushi and then we discuss it with you. But some of the culture say we got to apply for this. A greater percentage of men don't do. So for a woman, marrying a wrong man would often lead to suppression of your dreams because a controlling or unsupportive husband may discourage you from pursuing higher education, career, or your passions, reducing your identity to roles of a wife and a mother. Full stop. What about the woman God created you to be? The cost of loss of potential and the haunting feeling of what could have been, you have no idea. And then nobody 50, 60, 70. Anka wunya yanka. Who did those things that you were passionate about. The regrets you live with, you have no idea. For men, the wrong partner may sap drive and ambition by creating constant conflict or emotional instability at home. A man whose energy is spent fighting or managing toxic dynamics often lacks the focus to pursue growth. The Bia Sumdrenifi, the Bia, there is something as if you're in the law court in your own home. You can't eat what you want, you can't wear what you want, you can't plan what you want. Everything you need to take permission from your wife. I mean, what is that? So he married to sell to his full agency or what? I saw a video and everybody was laughing, but it hits me differently. A man who entered his kitchen, Oko bi nkwan so am sɛ nkwan na adɔ ne kɔn ho, sɛ nam na ɔpɛ ayi bi awe o, na ɔhwehwɛ ne ho sɛ ne yere ba a ɛtwitwa ne kɔn. Look at the confidence at which a woman can go to the kitchen, go dish a food, some food, and eat. Sɛ nam na ɔpɛ a ɔbɛyi bi awe, ɔntwɛ ne sɛ ne kun ba o, ne kun ba a ɔbɛgye agyi na ɔbɛtie no. But bɛrima in his old home, aduane a ɔno amɛsika me aduane no a, wamɛsika koraa sɛ esi wɔ ne fie. So of course, ɛyɛ ne fie aduane. Na ɔkɔ akɔbue kyɛnse so akɔsa nkwan na ɔtwitwe ne kɔn sɛ ne yere ba. Awerɛhow ne kyerɛ sɛ ahopepree nti ohwie nkwan no nyinaa guiɛ. Why should that be? The men are human too. They are human too. But anigyesɛm a ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ, a man will always find his way. If it's happiness he wants, he will find his way. If it's higher education he wants, he will find his way. Whatever it is, I don't know the percentage of people, but I think it's just small. Oh, bet me aka sɛ ɔkɔ school na ne yere bɛka sɛ mema nkɔ na ɔno nso bɛka sɛ menkɔ. No. But the women. But nonetheless, unlike women, whose dreams are often stifled externally, men in wrong marriages usually experience internal distraction and loss of motivation. Nti sɛ ɔbaa no deɛ ne kunu na ɛbɛhyɛ no sɛ mɛnyɛ, memma wo nyɛ, mensupporte wo no, bɛrima no, ɔbaa n'ano kasa ne ne nneyɛe nti, ɔno ankasa ne ne ho di wɔ inside. Na ɛno na ɛyɛ dangerous because the awerɛhow is so intrinsic. Internal distraction and loss of motivation. Number 4, spiritual and social effects. Women often lean on relationships as part of their spiritual and social well-being. A wrong partner can isolate her from supportive networks or push her into environments that compromise her faith and values. Social judgment also tends to fall heavier on women in broken marriages, adding stigma to pain. Bɛrima betumi agyae aware nnɛ na ɔkyena akɔware na ɔbɔ ne bra like nothing has happened. Obetumi koraa akɔwo mma foforɔ ɛma wohyia na biribi apɔ anim a ɛkyerɛ sɛ waware agyae da. But ɔbɛgyae aware a na n'anim ayɛ hare. Religion is judging her, society is judging her. Nti nka owuiɛ a anka ɛbɛbɔ nsɛm ama no because she has what? Acquired martyrship in dysfunctional marriage. No. No, 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 no. No, the stigma. The stigma. A wrong partner can isolate you as a woman from supportive networks or push you into environments that compromise your faith and values. Social judgment also tends to fall heavier on you as a woman in broken marriages, adding stigma to pain. Men's spiritual decline in wrong marriages often shows as withdrawal. Nti moware na mo nyinaa moyɛ Kristofoɔ, mo nyinaa mokɔbɔ mpaeɛ bom fine. But aware na nkɔ yi woantreat ne well. Nti afei de kɔsi de korɔ mpɛ sɛ obɛdi w'akyi akɔ asɔre bio. Obi ka n'asɛm. Menkɔtena asɔre deɛ ma nhwɛ wo na woyɛ nyame adwuma, wosom Awurade, you are in worship, hands lifted. The same hands na akɔ fie ade bɔ wɔ yɛ no. Wonti nyamesom koraa ndɔ ne kɔn bio. The way you disrespect him so much, so mean to this same man. No, spiritually he will decline. So men's spiritual decline in wrong marriages often shows as withdrawal, detachment from community, disengagement from values, and disillusionment with life. Society may not shame them as openly as they would do women, but men often suffer silently, wrestling with guilt or bitterness. Number 5, long-term consequences. Women in wrong marriages may endure longer because of children, societal pressure, or fear of starting over. Obi tumi hwɛ obi ka kyerɛ no sɛ ɔbaa wagya aware deɛ mema me babarima nware no da. Nso babarima na ɔno wɔ mma no, wopɛ sɛ obi ba baa deɛ ɔmmɛware no. Society, our beliefs, our paradigms. So women in wrong marriages may endure longer because of children, societal pressure, or fear of starting over. This can result in decades of lost potential and identity. Or the mufraninti, no one can start sacrificing a brabo. So when we are no basa, and we're losing identity in this life, none in a mosoba. The wrong marriage often leaves deep scars of self-doubt that lingers even if she eventually walks away. Men are more likely to walk away earlier. Now there are a group of men onjao obetiti waji waoko. We are the day onjao or no unknown ye or no so onjao. But you see, it is at a heavy cost to them. It is at a heavy cost to them. Some of them walk away earlier. Some would never walk away, and yet their hearts are not with you too. But at the end of the day, it is at a heavy cost to them. Those who walk away earlier, the child custody battles, financial settlement can leave them bitter and distracting of the future relationships. The men too. The men too. While women may lose themselves inside a wrong marriage, men often lose themselves after escaping one. Lose themselves after escaping one. So whoever you marry is a major decision that can bring you to destiny or push you far away from it. But there's no martyrship in dying out of dysfunctional marriage. So in running up for today, both men and women pay dearly for choosing the wrong partner. The wrong partner doesn't mean the person is a bad person. But just like I demonstrated to you, chance bia won nkata so wiase. So when yan kata so papa nkata so a, woye denara to grow down. Ne do baby atokro no in the beginning, it will take a longer period. Then you have wasted life. So both men and women pay dearly for choosing the wrong partner. But the pain manifests differently. Women often face emotional suffocating, suppression of growth, and social judgment. while men grapple with financial strain, silent mental battles, and loss of drive. In both cases, destiny is hindered, purpose is delayed, and life becomes heavier than it was meant to be. Just by choosing a wrong partner, wobɛto wo ho agu wɔ wiase. Wobɛbra, ansa na wobɛgyina wo nan so bio no, na mfe kɔ. Na mfe kɔ. And to take a 180 degree just to amend and correct your mistakes takes confidence and hard work. So the lesson is clear. Marriage is too consequential to be left to chance or pressure. Choosing rightly is not just about love. It is about aligning with someone who nurtures growth, peace, and purpose. So if you are single, don't just choose because of age. And upgrade your mindset and paradigm so much that whatever happens in the marriage, you'll be able to bring yourself together and become the person you are meant to be. Because the choice you make would influence and affect your destiny too. And it will take decades. So if you are single and you haven't made a choice yet, please know these things. You can download this video because Facebook will delete the live session after a month. Watch it over and over again and ask yourself questions. Whoever you choose as a life partner in marriage will affect your destiny. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter who you become. If your choice is wrong, it would affect your destiny in the wrong dimension. Just the same way, if you choose a right partner who will nurture growth, peace, and purpose, so this is what I shared with you. Thank you, Ma'am Vivian, for being on. Eze, I'm grateful for being on. Until I come your way again tomorrow, 14 days to 14 September. I want to use this opportunity to thank everybody who has been loving and kind to me in these 51 years of life. I am so grateful. Ma Vivian, thank you for your love and care and support. I'm so grateful. Eze, thank you that you are always on. I am grateful. Thank you, everybody, for being on. I'll come your way again, same time, same space tomorrow. Much love and blessings.